Yerp, 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 yerp. What's goody team? What's goody team? Welcome to tonight's yerp, 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 isolation session. Hope you guys are doing well. Mr. Bashir, welcome, my brother. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Gonna give everybody another 4 minutes to join, and then we will get started. Any questions? Let me know. Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over? Let me know. We're gonna start the stream off looking at US 30. We'll talk about the entry that we had this morning. We'll talk about why we took it, starting from the daily time frame, going to the 4 hour, going to the 30 minute, then going into the 1 minute time frame, which is where the entry was taken. We'll talk about the news that hit this morning. Um, very valid questions that we had in the Discord chat, and some questions that we had in the YouTube chat, and some questions that we had on Twitter. Pretty much were all very similar questions. Why did I take the trade? How did I know, my stop loss placement, why I placed my stop loss there, and we'll talk about it. US 30 is a pair that every single session I always talk about it. Um, Especially this week, right? During the weekly market breakdown on Sunday, we we spoke about US 30 and how it tends to move. We talked about it, I believe, on Monday as well. And we talked about it even this morning before we even had news come out. We talked about it at around 7 o'clock and what we were expecting and why. Um, so, it's good to see that everything that we've talked about is actually happening in front of our eyes. And it's nothing new. Again, you guys could go back and watch. We have over 500, 600 live streams on our channel already from the last 2, 3 years. So it's nothing new. It's nothing new. But we'll start off with US 30, and then we'll go on our list. Again, I'm still at my parents', so I unfortunately only have one monitor. So I'll be going back and forth from the chat to the charts. But if you guys have any questions, any specific pairs you guys want me to go over, please let me know in the chat. Um, Again, just gonna give everybody another 2 minutes to join. At 5:50, we will get started. So use this time wisely, guys. This is what we're here for. Again, this is not a live trading session. This is just me updating my charts, getting my charts ready for tomorrow's live trading session in the morning. So, again, any questions, anything you guys want me to explain again, anything you guys want me to go over, any specific pairs you guys want me to go over, whether or not they're on our list, just let me know. More than happy to help and answer questions. I should grab a water bottle, but I'll do it later because I know I'm gonna need it. Gonna try to make this a fairly quick session, but it shouldn't be longer than an hour. We'll say 45 minutes, no longer than 45 minutes. It should be a pretty quick session today. The pairs we're going to be going over are the ones that you're going to see on the right hand side with the red flag next to their names, starting off with AUD USD, finishing off with US oil, CAD, ZAR, gold, Bitcoin, and oil. Fox, welcome, welcome, yo. Mr. Adrian, welcome back, my brother. Hello, hello. $5.50, we ready? What an eventful day I had today, team. Let me tell you. Kind of crazy, man. I want to go back. I want to go back home so bad. Fuck. I miss my lake. I miss fishing. I miss being outside. It's been raining all day here in Miami. Went to was in downtown area today and yesterday. Yesterday I was in, for the ones who know the Miami area and where people live. I was in Hibiscus Island yesterday. That was fun. Very eventful. It rained today here too. Yeah, it's I think today's the only day it's supposed to rain here, and then you know weather says it's gonna be cold, but I'm in Miami. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be 50 degrees with 70% humidity, and it's gonna feel like it's 70 outside. It's gonna be a regular day. Up in Orlando though, man, it's in the 40s and it's cold. It feels so nice. I just want to be back. I just want to go back home. I just want to go back home. The good thing is that everything that I could do at home, I could do it here. So it's not like I'm missing out on anything, but the vibes are different. Like, the Miami vibes, the people, it's just not my thing anymore. It's not what I chase, and at the same time, too, and I'll say this and then we'll start just so I don't yap all day. Um, I was looking through my notes today, and one thing that I wanted to do, I was like, yo, it would be dope. Manifestation is a crazy thing. I was like, I would love to go back to Miami and you know get a place in downtown Miami or some shit. Have my place here in Miami and have a place over there in Orlando. So it's like, what happened here in the last 2 weeks. I'm just like, this is my trial run for if I wanted to actually come here and start again over here. But it's not looking good. I fucking don't like it here anymore. Like, it's really not. It's not my thing. It's not my style. My lifestyle just isn't. This is too fast paced for me, if that makes any sense. For those who've traveled, you go to places like New York, you go to places like California, you come to places like Miami, and it's super fast paced. And then you go to other cities, let's even in Florida, right? You go to cities like Orlando, super slow paced. You go to Daytona, super slow paced. You go to Gainesville, super slow paced. Um, I can't say a lot for New York, as I've only been in the fast places in New York, the fast cities. New York is nice, it's just very expensive. Um, California, it's kind of fast paced, slow pace. You're in the LA area, or you're in Anaheim, and it's like kind of a mix, right? And then I've been to other cities and other states, Minnesota and Minneapolis, super slow pace, just freezing. Would not do that again. Michigan, nothing to do over there. Missouri, nothing to do over there. It's freezing out here in Canada. Yeah, I can only imagine. Miami weather is chill. Yeah, it's good. I will say that. Obviously there's during the winter time, obviously it's 50-50, I guess you could say, right? You have some days where, like today, where it's just raining all day. Um, or you'll have like beautiful, you know, 80-degree weather with no clouds in the sky. Um, so it's not bad, right? But for the most part, I mean, 9 months out of the year, 10 months out of the year, it's 90 degrees and 100% humidity. You're just wanting to kill yourself out here. I'd say that that's another thing I don't really miss about Miami. Like, the South Florida weather is horrible 9 months out of the year. For the people who live in the cold, they love it. But obviously, when you're visiting or you're a tourist and you come down here for a few days, even for like a week or so, it's good. But when you live here every single day, 24/7, and it's just that sun is sunning. The sun is sunning. I will say that. But I just want to go back home. I miss Mickey Mouse, man. I miss my Harry Potter land. Diagonally. I miss my butterbeer, man. There's nothing like it. But alright, team, we ready? Let me know. Any questions in the chat before we get started? Let me know. Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over? Let me know. We'll give you guys what's the time frame on this. I'll give you guys 30 seconds in the chat. Any questions? Anything you guys want me to go over? Anything you guys want me to explain? Let me know. When will you start the one-on-one? Since I don't know when I'll be back home, I'm pretty much available. I will say starting on. Albert told me he wants to do a session on Thursday. So I would say pretty much if you want to do a one-on-one session, Saturday or Sunday would be really the best time for me at this point. Since you're in Canada, you're pretty much in the same time zone as me. You know, if you could do Saturday or Sunday anytime after 5 p.m. would be pretty like it'll be perfect for me. This upcoming Saturday or Sunday, or we could do it next Saturday, Sunday, whatever works for you. Let me look at the dates real quick. 'Cause there is one day, I just don't know, the 19th, I believe it is. Yeah, we could either schedule it for the 18th or we could schedule it for the 25th. Whenever you're free, just let me know what time, and we could do that. What I say? What days were it? And then yeah, so pretty much the 18th or the 25th, we could do that. Sunday at 12, maybe not 12. I might not be home. If we could do like 3 or 4 p.m., that would be a lot better. 3 4 p.m. would work for me the best on Sunday. Let us know when you're available. All right, perfect. DM me on Discord, so that way I have your. Let me put the Discord link as well in the chat just in case. Um, I'm about to fucking leak something. I already know it. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Thank God. Okay. Um, yeah. DM me here on Discord, and then that way I have your name there. MK, I got you. I'll look for it. Let me see if I got you. Where is it here? MK. Okay, perfect. Damn, I read your message. I didn't fucking reply. This chopped. My bad. I'm getting a hella messages. I got you. Let me just send you a message here so I don't forget. I'll have you at the top of the list. Is anybody else? I think we're good. I think everybody else was on Instagram and on the website. Okay. All right, so let's get started, guys. Again, um, once I open up the charts, I can't see the chat because I only have one monitor here. So bear with me. Again, I will be going back and forth pretty much after every pair. I'll go back and forth, or anytime I ask a question or whatever the case is, I'll be going back and forth from the chat and the charts. So again, any questions, let me know. Anything you guys want me to explain, anything that didn't make sense that you want me to say again or repeat, just let me know. And we'll just go on from there. Again, this session really shouldn't take that long. It shouldn't take us longer than 45 minutes or so. Um, we'll talk about the pairs that we need to talk about. The pairs that really don't have anything going on, I'm just gonna skip them. We're just gonna get through them pretty quick. So we'll start off tonight with US 30. Once again, this is the pair that we took the trade on this morning during the live trading session, and it was a pretty simple trade. Pretty simple trade, bread and butter, like how he told me on Twitter. It was really nothing out of this world. It's nothing that we haven't done before. It's nothing that we haven't spoken about before. You know, it's not anything that there's no hidden talent behind any of the trades that we take. If you go and you look at my 2025 trading journal, we ended up the year with 55 trades and one loss, 55 wins and one loss. Um, amazing fucking year. I'm not gonna lie. It was a very good year. A lot of slow days, but for the most part, the trades that gave us some clean entries, we waited for them. We did exactly what we had to do. And if you go and you look back at the trading journal, you guys will see that almost every single trade is the exact same setup. The only difference, some of them were long positions and some of them were short positions. This is the only difference. The entry rules, the entry models are all very similar. Change of character, break of structure, engulfing candles, or bounces off the EMAs depending on what level we're in. It's very simple, right? Exhaustion candles when they need to be present is nothing out of the world, is nothing crazy, right? So with US 30, off the bat on the daily time frame, right? We know that we are in the highest point in the market. So on the daily time frame right now, all we knew is okay, cool. We had higher high, higher low, right? Price didn't give us a clean break here until we had this push. All of this is part of the same trend on the daily time frame. So we know that we're trading between this higher low and this higher high, right? Once on the daily time frame, once you could already see like, okay, we're trading in a higher high, we're trading at a higher low, or vice versa. On a downtrend, you're trading at a lower high or at a lower low point. You can start getting your charts a little bit, you can get your charts a little ready for what comes up next, right? After a higher high is set, after a higher high is made, what do you know is going to happen? You know price is going to give you a pullback. You know price is going to give you higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? Or vice versa. You have price on a downtrend giving you lower lows and lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower highs, lower lows, right? With that being said, once we understood, okay, daily time frame, don't really have a lot of confirmations here. All we see is market structure on the daily time frame, right? We know that, okay, this is our daily high, this is our higher high, perfect. We go down into the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, we're looking for the exact same thing. We're just looking at market structure. On the 4-hour time frame, we had higher high. We'll mark it up with the highlighter so we're not lost, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, retest, boom, higher low, right? And then price gave us higher high. Once we saw, okay, cool, we're at a higher high on the 4-hour time frame. Last week, going into this week, what did we see in our higher high? Again, everything is color coordinated. The daily time frame highs and lows are the gray boxes. The 4-hour highs and lows are the blue boxes. And the 30-minute highs and lows are the red boxes, right? Once we saw that this higher high was made on the 4-hour, at the end of the week last week, what did price do? It came back up, it tapped into it, came back down. In the beginning of this week, what did price do? It came back up, tapped into it, gave us an inducement of the high, and started just consolidating, moving sideways, right? And then today's candle, which is the 8:30 a.m. candle, which we'll talk about on the 30-minute, we saw that it came back up. Again, gave us an inducement of the high, swept the highs. A lot of people will call these sweep of the highs, whatever. It's an inducement. It's an inducement of the high. It's all the same thing. We're all saying the same thing, just in a different way, different verbiage, right? On the 30-minute time frame, what do we see? Well, there was two things on the 30-minute time frame. First and foremost, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then price came down and gave us a change of character, lower low. So if you guys remember last week's session, we were talking about how, let me delete some of these things so it's not all on my screen all day. We were talking about how price printed a shoulder head shoulder on the 30-minute time frame, and it did give us a valid break of the low. At the end of last week going into this week, we already had the train of thought of, okay, cool, we have a shoulder head shoulder, we broke below the previous shoulder, we have a clean break. This was already our confirmation to let us know that we were in a downtrend. Now, the answer, or the question I should say, the question you should always ask yourself is, okay, after a break, it doesn't matter if it's a break of the trends or a break of a zone of consolidation, after a break of structure, there's only two things that could happen. Either price is going to give you a clean break, retest to then continue, or price is going to give you a break, right? And then it's going to come down and give you a sweep to then continue. Which again, the sweep of the low is just going to be sorry, I got the hiccups now. The sweep of the lows is again either just an inducement. It's an inducement of the low, or it's going to be what we would call a change of character, right? Once we already saw, okay, cool, all we're looking for is a pullback. Again, how far is the pullback going to be? That's the question that we have to ask ourselves. And that is an answer that we ultimately do not have the answer for. That's the question that we do not have the answer for. However, every single time we're on our charts, we just gotta continue to look at market structure. And that's exactly what we did the entire week, right? Previous to today, what happened? Thursday, Friday, and Monday, price gave us 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, the market must do what? The market must move sideways, or it must go down. Only two things that could happen. Now, US 30 is a big pair. US 30, 99.9% of the time, is going to give you a trend. 99% of the time, price is going to move. That 0.1% of the time when US 30 just consolidates for an entire day, that's either because you have a bank holiday or the market is closed. That's it. It's either a bank holiday or the market's closed. With that being said, stepping up to the charts today, we already knew, okay, cool. We just have to wait for the trend to start developing. So what I'm looking at is what you guys see here circled in white is how many times or where is price inducing the highs and then reversing. And we could see that once it tapped into the 30-minute highs here, it induced the highs, rejected the highs, and went down. It did it again yesterday at the end of the session going into the new session for today, right? Induced the highs and it started just moving sideways. Now, again, US 30 is an NYC session pair. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your name is. I don't care how much experience you have on the charts. If you are trading US 30, and let me say this twice so you guys could understand. If you guys are trading US 30 before the NYC session, and it's an entry where you're entering a trade during Asia session or London session and you're planning to hold it, you are going to get stopped out of that trade 95% of the time. Say that again. If you take a US 30 trade during Asia session and London session with the mentality that you're going to take a trade and hold it, you are 95% sure going to get hit out. Why? Look at the behavior of US 30. Just look at this the past 2 weeks. Because I'm not going to do the back testing for you guys, but I'm going to show you the last week. When does the market start moving for US 30? Tuesday, 9:30, flew. Wednesday, 9:30, flew. Before that, what was it doing? Moving sideways. Before this, what was it doing? Moving sideways. Thursday, when did it start moving? 9:30. Before that, what was it doing? Okay, it moved down a little bit. Cool, no problem. Friday, what was price doing? Consolidating, moving sideways, all the way up until when? 9:30. The NYC market open. Monday this week did the same thing as Thursday last week. Okay, it went down a little bit, no problem. When did the market really start moving? 9:30 in the morning, the NYC open. You look at a day like today, what was price doing all fucking night? Moving sideways until when? 9:30, the NYC open. Now, today's session, and let me go back and see the chat real quick and see if there's any questions. Mr. Muhammad, welcome my brother. Yerp. Been a fat minute, man. US 30 today. What did we know about the US market today? We have CPI news. There was CPI news at 8:30 in the morning. Now, on a day like today, where we have news before the NYC open, there's one thing I want to just look at. When the news hits, is there any volume on the charts? If the news hits today, and there's volume that comes into the charts, we already know, okay, cool. That crazy volume, right? Just think about it. 9:30 open, this was a candle that did 300 pips, right? Specifically 350 pips. We know that during the NY open, US 30 is going to give you a crazy candlestick, right? There's a 50% chance that it's just going to be a straight green candle or a straight red candle. And it's a 50% chance that it's going to look like yesterday and it's going to look like Friday, where you have one candle going both ways that's doing over 200 pips. That's the reason why on a day like yesterday, on a day like Friday, or on a regular day when there's no news on the markets, you will always see me wait for that candle to print. Because it doesn't matter what direction you're taking the trade in, right? Your account, again, unless you're a millionaire and you have $1 million on your account, you are not going to be able to hold through that drawdown on US 30. US 30 is a very expensive pair. Again, for those people who don't know, in order for you to trade US 30 on a broker account, a real live broker account, the minimum requirement you need on your account is 200 USD. Meaning, if you do not have $200 in your account, your broker is not going to allow you to take a trade on US 30. Now, how much is $200 in pip value when you're trading US 30? Is 20 pips. It's 20 pips. Meaning, if you have a stop loss more than 20 pips, you are blowing your $200 account with one wrong move on US 30. Right? With that being said, and let me go ahead and just delete these circles because we don't need them anymore. And any questions, let me know. Once the CPI news printed, 8:30 in the morning, what happened? It was a green candle all the way to the top side of 189 pips. Once I saw that this green candle, and there's a 30-minute time frame, so this was a 30-minute candle. This is how long we waited for the trade. The trade worked out in less than 15 minutes, and this was something that we were waiting for since 7 in the morning. Right? Once I saw two things. The fact that the candle opened with a gap, that already gave us a confirmation, or I would say a heads up. Hey, Price has to come back down to fill this gap. Again, a gap doesn't have to be filled right away, but it gives you an idea, an understanding that price will come down to this area sooner than later. The second thing I was waiting for was to see how the 30-minute candle was going to print. The fact that price came all the way up, it gave us an inducement of the daily, the 4-hour, and the 30-minute highs. And price came back down. What is this candle? The way this candle printed, sorry, give me 1 second. The way this candlestick printed is an exhaustion candle. We have a bullish exhaustion candle, which tells us that price wants to go down. It's tired, right? You're exhausted. When the market is telling you that it's exhausted, it means it's going to go the opposite way. Every single time. Every single time. It gave you the exhaustion candle at the highs, the daily, the 4-hour, and the 30-minute highs. And before the exhaustion candle was printed, it gave you a gap in the market. Once I saw that on the 30-minute time frame, that's when I went down to the 1 minute. Why the 1 minute? Specifically for US 30, because it is a very fast moving pair. If you trade this on the 15 minute, if you trade it on the 30 minute, especially when you're trying to trade during the 9:30 NYC open, you're going to miss the trade. Once we saw, again, this was the imbalance candle, this was the exhaustion candle on the 30-minute time frame. This is the gap that we had, which was my first targeted take profit area. Price came back down, cool, it filled out the imbalance, perfect. We were still missing the gap. Price came back to these highs, right? Rejected the highs, came down, printed a 1 minute engulfing candle. And again, this was before the 9:30 open. This was at 9:28, 9:27, 9:29. Once price printed the engulfing candle pattern, what else happened? Price gave us a gap in the market. Small little gap right here. There was a green candle, and then this red candle that opened down here. Right? This red candle should have opened up here. This is why this is a gap, because the green candle finished up here, but then that candle opened at the bottom. Once I saw that we had printed an engulfing candle and it left with a gap, there was only one other thing I was waiting for besides the retest of the engulfing candle. I wanted to see price fill this gap up before I take a trade. At 9:30, volume came into the charts for the NYC open. The 9:30 candle came up. It filled up the gap. It came back down. What did it print? An exhaustion candle. Perfect. You filled up the gap and you told me that price was going to start going down. Say less. I don't need to know anything else. The 9:31 candle opened. It came up, and as soon as I saw price, if you notice the wick, as soon as price came back up to retest the area, that's when I got into the trade. Stop loss above the engulfing candle at 20 pips. Perfect. Doesn't get easier than that. And as soon as we took the trade, straight to take profit. TP number 1 was hit, which was the gap on the 30-minute time frame, or I guess you could say the 1 minute time frame here. And then my TP2 was STP for the day. And once again, STP for the day was what? Fucking 33.6? 317. Right? STP for the day was 317 pips. Yeah, I'll use my price range tool. 317. We'll get it close because this isn't going to be 317. As soon as price came down to my STP, I took profit. Perfect. I don't need more than that. A 1 to 10. Cool. Cool, easy day. A trade that we took at 9:31 and we were out of the trade by 9:45. Cool 15 minutes for a 1 to 10. Not bad. That's a good day of work right there. Jumper bro, how you doing, man? I know life been crazy. I'll be back end of January. It's all good, Muhammad. Made it to life, nearly slept off. It's all good. All good, Albert. We made it, yo. I finally turned the stream on for the isolation session, so it's all good. But I'm doing good, Muhammad. I can't complain, man. I don't know if you've seen the news, but on the 31st, I had my car broken into. Long story short, I'm stranded in Miami. Car's fucked up. So that's the reason why you see me going back and forth from the chart and the chat. I only have one monitor here in Miami, so unfortunately, I don't know when I'll be back home, but I'm here now, man. I'm here now. But any questions about US 30, guys? Any questions about what we just went over? You know, again, it's fairly simple. Again, I know that for some people, it's not going to be simple. I get it. Especially if it's your first time here, especially if you've never traded this way before, right? This might look like Chinese to you. And again, I completely get it. I understand. But that's why I'm here. If you guys have any questions, if you guys have any concerns, anything at all, just let me know. Right, and after 3 days of rise, the market must move sideways or go down, and we ended up going down. So we're back in business. Right, we're back in business. We'll be back again tomorrow, looking at US 30, looking for something easy. If US 30 doesn't give us something easy, then perfect. We'll come back the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. We don't gotta rush into it. You guys see how I treat US 30. I look at US 30 every single day. Do I trade US 30 every single day? No. Because not every day is going to be a trading day. That's why I am not a believer of, oh, you gotta look at one pair. No, that's false. Because that one pair you're looking at is not going to give you an entry every single day. I promise. I promise, bro. I'll bet my bank account on that. That one pair you're looking at is not giving you an entry every single day. That is why it's difficult to be profitable when you're looking at one pair, because you start chasing trades. You start getting anxious. Right? The last US 30 trade we took was the 16th of December, almost a month ago. 3 days off. Before December, the last trade I took on US 30. Let's keep going. So you guys can see, I treat US 30 with the most respect. Before December 16th, the last trade was November 10th. Again, 6 days off from being a month. Right? November was a 1 to 6. December was a, where are we? Was a simple 1 to 2, 1 to 3. Right? And not every trade is a home run. Right? That was the November 10th? Let's go look. 2 more. Let's look for 2 more. Before November 10th, another trade on US 30. Let's see. We're already in August. So you guys could see why I don't look at one pair. But you can see that this is all marked up. I look at it every single day. Beautiful. 1 hour engulfing candle with the inducement of the high, a 1 to 4. And this was in July. So July was the last time I took a trade until November on US 30. Let's go look. One more pair. Or one more entry. That was July. Then I had another trade on, take a look. Where are we already? We're in April, right? This is where I went a little crazy on US 30. What the fuck? Well, this is not right. What is that? Right here. Boom. February. 1 to 31. I can't go to the 1 minute here. Unfortunately, it's too far back. But it's the same thing. Same trade. Inducement of the high. After the inducement of the high, this gave us a change of character, break of structure with a 1 minute engulfing candle. A 12 pip stop loss with a 382 pip TP. So you guys can see, like, again, US 30 is not a pair that I'm trading every single day. Am I looking at it every single... What is this? Why does this keep popping up on my screen like this? Is it a pair that I'm looking at every single day? Yes. Is it a pair that I'm looking to trade every single day? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This was already January. I think I'm missing a trade though, because I definitely took a trade. Yeah, you see, I knew it. There's a trade that I took down here at the beginning of the year for sure. But anyway, 30-minute low. We still have that gap at the top. No, this gap was already filled, right? Let me reset my charts real quick. Yeah, this is the gap that was filled already. So then the next gap that we have on US 30 is that gap at the bottom of the shoulder head shoulder break that we have on the 1 minute time frame. Holy good shit. Great catch. Thank you, Muhammad. Damn man, unlucky, but still at least more time with the fan while you sort it out. Yeah, that's the way that I'm seeing it, to be honest. Like, I was upset about it obviously in the first couple days. It's been a shitty 2 weeks, 2 3 weeks where life has just been throwing rocks at me. But the way I've been looking at it, man, I started off 2026 at the lowest point. The only way is to go up, man. So, shit, I would rather start the year at the bottom and then just keep climbing for the rest of the year. So it is what it is, man. We're currently undergrads to top pairs. It's all good. That's why I said, like, again, US 30 is a very, 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 very unforgivable pair. Like, again, if you can't catch these moves on smaller pairs, then there's no point in trading US 30. There's no point in trading gold. Right? To keep it simple, if you can't catch moves on GBPJPY, you're not ready to trade commodities, you're not ready to trade the indexes, you're not ready to trade the metals. You have to just graduate to those pairs. And there's nothing wrong with that. Right? The same amount of money that you make on US 30, you can make more than that on a regular forex pair. Because again, US 30, you're playing with a 20-30 pip stop loss. That same move that you're catching on US 30 with a 20 pip stop loss is the same move that you're going to catch on AUD USD with a 6 pip stop loss. Right? And then that way you're able to increase your lot size, and then your TP is going to be the same thing, right? A $5 lot size with a 25 pip TP, you guys do the math. 5 times 250. Right? It's not a bad day. It's not a bad day. Um, it looks very easy. It looks very easy. Anything you're breaking the chart until I try to catch the moves. That's normal, Mr. Bashir. Anytime somebody breaks it down for you step by step, it's always going to look easier than when you're actually on the charts and seeing it live happen in front of you. But that's the reason why I always say the more you do it, the more you see it, the easier it's going to be to see it when you're there by yourself looking at it live on the charts. Because it's really the same thing. Right? Trading is a repetitive cycle. The same thing that you saw today is the same thing you're going to see tomorrow, is the same thing you're going to see next week, is the same thing you're going to see 3 years from now. It's just about training yourself and training your eyes and training your brain to understand that these are just all patterns. And again, it might take you 2 years. Somebody else, it might take them 4 years, 6 years, 8 years. But at the end of the day, it's just repeating the same cycles, repeating the same patterns. It's pattern recognition at the end of the day. What they steal? Well, they stole a pair of shoes that I had, a pair of foam posits. But they tried to jumpstart the car. So they broke my passenger rear window, and they tried jump starting the car, and they put a screwdriver in the ignition switch. So I've changed the battery on the car. I changed the alternator. I replaced some of the wires on the steering wheel, and my shit just continues to, like, it'll turn on. The key goes in perfect. It turns on perfect, but then a few minutes after you drive it around, all the dashboard lights, all of them go on, and then my power steering goes out. Everything, it goes crazy. So I'm starting to think that it's not something that's broken with the car, like anything that I could change. I think it's just a computer system. The computer system might be fried on the car. So I'm gonna have to take it sometime this week to Kia so they could do a diagnostics on it and shit like that. Because if it's a computer part, I'm pretty sure only they could change that. And I know that's gonna be very expensive compared to everything else that I've done with that fucking car already at this point. I've spent like over 1,200 on that shit already. So, um, would you just continue your journal? I don't know, Albert. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I might just put it in that same link and just update it, or I might just make a copy of it and then start fresh again for 2026. But I have something else that I'm working on that I started working on last week that I'm not gonna say on stream for obvious reasons. But there's something I'm working on that's where I want to put my trading journal at, but we'll see. I'll make my decision by the end of the month. Year was goody Kendall. So again, any questions about US 30, let me know. We already went over this, so we'll go over AUD USD and we'll pretty much fly through these we'll fly through these pairs. Again, if there's something that we have to talk about, we'll talk about it. If not, then we'll just skip over them. We'll update what we gotta update and then go on from there. So this session shouldn't be longer than another 15-20 minutes. So again, I'll give you guys another minute in the chat. What's the time frame? 20. We'll give you 30 seconds in the chat. Any questions? Anything you guys want me to go over? Any other specific pairs? Anything that we talked about on US 30? Let me know. Hope it's just that and they can sort you out. Yeah, bro. That's gonna. I need this car for another year, bro. At least another year. You caught them in the act? No, unfortunately, bro. Well, unfortunately, because if I would have caught them in the act, it would have been a bigger situation than what it really is. Um, so luckily, no, I didn't catch them. They, I don't even was I home? I don't remember. It happened on the 31st, so literally right before New Year, the night before New Year. Um, and it happened at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I was dead asleep at that time. But again, the craziest thing is that I live in a gated community. So it just kind of sucks that this community I'm in doesn't have any fucking cameras for some reason. They have the cameras in the gate, so we see people coming in and out. But where my car was at specifically, there's no cameras in that area, and I parked it behind my building. So I don't know. Kind of sucks. Situation sucks, bro. That's all I know. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. Gated and that happened? Crazy, huh? Welcome to Miami, man. City of the devil, bro. I've always said it. Shit is fucking stupid. But it's nothing new, bro. We've had 3 trailers filled with dirt bikes stolen from us. We've had, one of our vans, the transportation vans that we had one of them, like our fucking back mirror was all smashed. My brother's car was sideswiped while it was parked in front of our house when we used to live in a house here in the same city, but a couple blocks down. Um, crazy shit, bro. Stupid shit. Sorry, bro. It's all good. It's all good. It's one person I was talking to. They were pretty much like, yo, they needed that shit more than you. I'm like, facts, but that's not the point. You should let the mechanic install alarm relay to the horn. The thing is with this car, it's an older car. I mean, I could install something like that, and even Kia themselves, they've it's been a thing here in the States. I will say this and we'll keep on going, just so I'm not talking about this shit for another 20 minutes. Here in the States, there's a group called the Kia Boys, right? And they literally go around, and there's YouTube videos about them and TikTok videos about them. And yo, Adrian, you funny, bro. And Long story short, it's a group of people who just go around trying to steal that car, that model of the car specifically. So, Kia themselves have sent out a whole bunch of shit to people who own the cars, things that they could put in the car for that not to happen, but it's gonna happen regardless. Yeah, we could get a horn, but it's already done. The motherfuckers are already in the car doing whatever it is that they gotta do. It's something that literally, for somebody who knows how to do it, it's something that takes less than a minute to do. Fortunately, these guys were fucking idiots, and they don't know how to jumpstart a car. They've never played GTA before. They never saw a TikTok video about it. I don't know what they were doing. But supposedly, too, to finish with the story, there was one other person in my community who the same thing happened to them on the same day, and there was three other cars in another city, like maybe 10 minutes from where I live, that three other cars got broken into and the same thing happened to them. So they were just out that night. Those group of people were just out and they were trying to do it, and they failed every single time. So they did a total of what, 5 cars, and they didn't even take one. They fucked up every single car, pretty much. Said it's all good. You made 10K in today's trade anyway. All right. Um, they skipped GTA or they skipped everything, bro. You should move out here and none of this shit would happen. I was talking about that this morning, bro. We were trying to figure out what city would we move to. Yeah, I would fucking go to DR, bro. Go to La Terrena. That shit not happening over there. But realistically speaking, this shit could happen anywhere, man. It's just wrong place at the wrong time, man. That's just how life is. Like today. Today was a fucking movie, though. Let me tell you. I'm not gonna say what happened on stream because I don't want to be praised anymore. But I saved somebody's fucking life today, bro. Let me tell you. Craziest 30 minutes of my life, I think. I don't think it's the craziest 30 minutes I've had in my life. I had a lot of crazy shit, but that's up there. Today was very eventful. I was in the right place at the right time. But I saved somebody's life today, bro. God better be fucking paying me back, bro. That's all I know. I started off the year shitty as hell, and then I saved somebody's life today. I should have just let that dude die, bro. Fuck it. I had a bad year, so will you. I was a good citizen today. I did something good. But alright, AU, we know we are in level 3 on a downtrend, right? We have level 1, first zone of consolidation, level 2, second zone of consolidation, the beginning of level 3 that gave us the break of structure of the zone of consolidation, which also gave us the lower low. And all we're looking for is for price to give us a set lower high point, right? Somewhere in these areas to then continue down into the lower low. Now, we know that AUD/USD had a gap somewhere here in October of 2024, and price filled that gap up last week. Now, going into this week, where we have no continuations on the daily, no continuations on the 4-hour, we're still uptrending on the daily, we're still uptrending on the 4-hour, right? On the 30-minute and on the 4-hour time frame, we could see that price is giving us another shoulder head shoulder. Now, in order for me to feel comfortable taking these short positions, I don't want to just see a shoulder head shoulder, right? Contrary to the beliefs of a lot of traders online, they will already be in this position, not me. I'm waiting for that break to happen below the shoulder, the first shoulder, right? Shoulder, head, shoulder. I'm looking for price to break below these lows to give me the confirmation that the trend has shifted from an uptrend down to a downtrend, right? We also know that on the 30-minute, 5-minute, on the 5-minute time frame, price, as soon as price came up and filled that gap up that we had in October of 2024, price came down and opened up a gap on the 5-minute time frame, which is over here. So again, gaps in the market don't have to be filled right away, right? Gaps in the market, it could take weeks, it could take days, it could take months, it could take a few years for gaps to be filled. With that being said, if price decides to break these lows and starts giving us lower lows and lower highs, it breaks below the 800 EMA and we start trending to the bottom, that's when I'm going to start catching trades. However, if price rejects these lows and we start uptrending, then we know that price is going to come back up to fill the gap up top and do the same thing again and go down. The same thing that happened here is going to be the same thing that's going to happen here. So we just got to be patient. 30-minute time frame, price is still on an uptrend, technically speaking. We had lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high change of character, right? Price with the news today gave us an inducement of the high, but at this point, I'm not going to mark this as higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low. All of this is going to be part of the same trend, right? All of this is part of the same trend. And I'm looking at this as the higher low, or the higher low point over here and the higher high points over here. Price gave us a day of drop. So right now, just going to be patient with AU. As soon as we give the change of character, break of structure to the bottom side, as soon as we get a break below the shoulder, head shoulder, that's when I'm going to start trading AUD USD again. For right now, I'm just going to be patient. Price is still respecting the 800 EMA. Gonna be patient. I'm not expecting price to just continue to fall for AUD USD. God put you there for a reason. That is facts, though. You're always saving lives, bro. Teaching people how to make money is a lifesaver. No, it is true. That is true. Nah, it is crazy. Like today was like I was just driving randomly and I was like, yo, I want to pass by this mall. I haven't driven here in a few years. I just want to pass by it, see how it is. And I took a random turn like behind the mall, so like where all the stores are at, and it's like the back doors. So like nobody was there. And as soon as I pull in, the motherfucker was just dying, dude. Like crazy out there. Yo. It's fucking crazy, bro. It's like but it is true. It's right place at the right time. Like there was a reason why I had that thought process. Cause I could have just kept going. I could have just kept going in my lane where I was at. I could have just never turned into there. I would have completely missed that. You are the true doctor, not me. Nah, bro. You know what's actually kind of crazy is so I'll tell you the story because that's actually funny. I like yo. So it was an older guy, probably in his late 60s, 70s, and his caregiver was again another not older. It was an older lady, but not old. She was probably in her 50s, late 40s, late 50s. And that's her caregiver, bro. And this guy is on the floor. So like when I pulled up, guy was on the floor, pale, bro, white, like white, 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 white. Motherfucker was entering the pearly gates, type of white. And I see her just giving him CPR, and she's yelling, yo, from the top of her lungs. So I pulled to the side, and I'm over here thinking that he had a heart attack or something. Cause I see from the distance that I was at, I thought he was like foaming in the mouth or like he was just white. I just see her doing CPR. I call 911 is the first thing I do. I call 911. I tell him what's happening, and I get closer and I see that he's choking, like on food. And this lady is doing CPR on the guy with him laying on his back. And I'm like, yo, in Spanish, because this was a Spanish lady. I'm like, yo, if he's choking on food, you have to put him to his side and like scoop that food out of his mouth. It's the only like you're choking him more by having him on his back. So we turned him to the side. She scooped the food out of his mouth. Um, she starts slapping him on the back, and I'm like, do not do that. That's the last thing you want to do. Like, I don't know how long she was doing chest compressions for, but like, I'm gonna say maybe 30 seconds after we put him to the side, he started spitting all the food out. And then like a minute after that, he started getting his color back. But the dude was all bloody. He has a cut in his eyebrow. His nose was bloody. So I'm assuming he just fell and cut his. You need to do the Heimlich, yeah. But I mean, he was an older guy. I didn't want to touch him. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I'm not doing that. Not gonna do all that now. But we put him to the side. As soon as we put him to the side, that's when he kind of started breathing again. But I'm like, yo, you're a caregiver, bro, and you don't even you're doing the worst thing in the worst case scenario too. But long story short, yo, I'm a germaphobe. That's the last thing I wanted to do was fucking get all that blood on me and on my and I fucking have the guy spitting on me. Nah. I was telling the lady like, yo, you gotta do this. Heimlich is the pushing the upper part will be the abdomen below the sternum. Yeah, yeah. No, I know the Heimlich maneuver. But that lady was lost. Like if I would have never pulled up, the guy would have died 100%. Like 1,000%, the dude would have passed. But I'm not wrong, right, Adrian? Like if somebody's choking like that, the last thing you want to do is have him on his back. And you would want to put him to the side, right? Felt good. No, no, far from far from good. That was a very put him to the side. Yeah, exactly. Like I know some things, right? I know some things. Like I could save somebody's life if I needed to. You saved the life. There you go. No, I mean, like I felt good, obviously, because after he started breathing and everything, like she was, so you're such an angel. Thank you, whatever, whatever. Like yeah, 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 we're good, man. I was asking the lady if she was good, because if she was, yo, like I wouldn't be able to be a doctor or a superhero. It's like no bullshit. This happened at like 4 p.m. So it's been like 2 hours now, 2.5 hours. I still hear her fucking yelling in my head. Her panicking, the way she was yelling, I still hear it in my head. And that shit is like that's the thing that kind of like curls you up inside. I know you know what I'm talking about. Like there's certain things that you just can't get out of your head. That's the one thing is the yelling, like how she was panicking, and I was just there like, yo, you need to calm down and just focus on him. That's all I told her. I'm like, just focus on him, stop yelling. Yeah, the ambulance came like maybe 5 minutes after I called them. But if I would have never showed up, that dude was done. If I wasn't there, that guy would have been done, 100%. There's no doubt about it. But then the ambulance came and I left right away. But by the time they came, he was already breathing. He already had color and everything. So emotionally disturbing, very, very disturbing. That's the one thing that I'm still like. It was calm. Like when I got there and I calmed her down and I was talking to the operator on the phone. Like everything was good. I guess you could say that. Um, but she was panicking, bro. Like crazy, 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 crazy shit. All right, let's get started. No questions on the chart on the chat. All right. AUD CAD again. We're gonna try to fly through this. Again, I know it's late for a lot of you guys, so I don't want to keep you guys here all night. AUD CAD, we are in A1. A1 is the first zone of consolidation on a downtrend. We're back at the top of the zone of consolidation, so perfect. Right, AUD CAD is getting ready for our safety trade. Again, our safety trades are when you're taking shorts at the top of the zone of consolidation, that is a safety trade. On the daily time frame, AUD CAD printed a beautiful engulfing candle going short. Perfect. On the daily time frame, only thing that sucks, Adrian, bro, is you get paid to save lives, bro. I just did this shit for free. Come on now, man. On the 4 hour time frame, we have a week of counter rise. We have a 15-minute engulfing. So this is gonna be a very it's gonna be a pretty so okay, so here we go. This is what I wanted to say. So On the 30-minute, we're still trading between the previous higher high and higher low that we made from last week. Before that, or after that, I guess you could say, what has price been doing? Just moving sideways. There's no real trend here. Price is just moving sideways, rejecting highs, rejecting lows, right? So this is where you guys should be asking the question like, okay, well, since we're in a zone of consolidation, are these high probability or low probability engulfing candles? They're low probability. We're in the middle of the zone of consolidation. I'm not going to be taking any trade here. We're still trading between a previous higher high and higher low, right? Just think about it. There's a bearish engulfing candle when market structure is still higher high and higher low. Why would you take a bearish confirmation entry when price is still bullish? The market printed a double bottom, a W formation, which is a bullish confirmation. Why would you take a double bottom when price is making lower lows and lower highs? Why would you take a double top, a M formation, which is a downtrend? Why would you take a bearish confirmation entry when market structure is still bullish, still making higher highs and higher lows? Same thing with order blocks, same thing with fair value gaps, same thing with EMAs, same thing with fib retracement, same thing with the harmonic patterns, same thing with the flag post patterns. Every single entry model follows the same rules. Why would you take a bearish flag post pattern entry when market structure is still bullish? It doesn't make any sense. So you guys could see I already deleted my daily engulfing candle. I don't even want to see it. I don't care about it. Price is still uptrending. Price is still on a zone of consolidation. There's no trend. The trend is your friend. There's no trend. There's nothing to trade. There's a 15-minute gap at the top of the market. There's a 15-minute engulfing candle. We're still moving sideways. I'm not trading this. Gonna wait it. Gonna wait it out. Go on to the next one. It's that simple. It really is that simple. Ambulance came in 5 minutes. Not here, bro. Yeah, no, that's the one thing here. The ambulance and the cops show up pretty fast when you need them. I know, brother. Yeah, doing that shit for free is insane work. Here you'll have to see God and come back later. Yo. Yeah. Nah. I mean, I guess it depends on what city you're in here. You know, if you're in a really busy city, like very very busy city where shit's happening at all times, you know, they'll take a little bit longer. But I mean, like, they're funded by the city. You know, there's a lot of police stations here. There's a whole bunch of fire rescue stations and ambulances at the same. Like there's so many of them where, like, if you call them, they'll be there. We'll put a 10-minute range. They'll be there between 10 minutes. They'll be there. It could be 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, but like the longest they'll have you waiting is like 10 minutes for sure. At least that's always been my experiences whenever I've needed them. Like the shit with my car. As soon as I called them, they were fucking already in my community in less than 3 minutes. They're already in there. 6 cop cars deep. I'm like, listen, this happened last night. I didn't need 6 of you guys here. You're fucking taking a report. Ain't shit. Why we got 6 motherfuckers in here for you? Who you catching? We late. You guys should have been patrolling the fucking city. Like Batman. Motherfuckers wanted to roll in 6 deep and I told them that. I'm like, yo, why we got 6 patrol cars here for? Like, if it's a murder scene. He broke into the goddamn car. I just needed one of you motherfuckers to take the report. I didn't need 6 of you motherfuckers here. They started laughing. Like, there's nothing to laugh about. You motherfuckers are late. You should have been here 12 hours ago. You should have seen these motherfuckers do this. These fucking guys were just laughing at my face like it's a joke. Like, dude, hello? Fuck you. Yo, 6 goddamn police people came to the house when I called them. Like, yo, I didn't need 6 of you guys here. I really didn't. We just needed one person to take the report. And that's literally what happened. We had one guy take the report. The other 5 were just sitting in their car. Like, alright, yo, you go stop some crime, dude. You're getting paid to just sit in your car. Would love to be a fucking officer, man. You guys do nothing. Stupid motherfuckers. That shit was funny, yo. Euro AUD is another pair that is just consolidating. We're just going to update this on the 30-minute. There's really nothing else to update on the higher time frames. This is another pair that I'm not going to be currently trading. Above the fact that we're still in a zone of consolidation, we're still moving counter trend. We're still making lower low, lower high, lower low. This is a pair that overall we're still on an uptrend. So nothing really to talk about here. As soon as we get out of that zone of consolidation, as soon as we start uptrending, that's when I'll start looking to take these trades again on Euro AUD. For Euro CAD, 30-minute time frame, we're still trading. Let's go back, take a step back, right? We had lower low, lower high, lower low, then price gave us a change of character, higher high, right? This is a pair that is currently in peak high territory, so this is one that I am not going to be trading. Gonna wait it out with Euro CAD and go on to the next one, right? Again, this is literally how simple it is when I hop on the charts, right? These are all the things that I'm looking at. Where are we? What is price doing? Are we trending or are we consolidating? If we're consolidating, let price do what it has to do. We'll come back when it starts trending. If it's trending, is it trending with the overall trend or are we counter trending? If we're counter trending, perfect. We'll let it go. We'll let price do what it has to do and we'll come back again once we start trending with the overall move. If we're trending with the overall move, then perfect. That's the pair that we're going to look at, and that's going to be the pair that we're going to start looking to take our entries on. It's really that simple. Right, GA, where are we? We're in peak high territory. In peak high territory, we also know that price is moving counter trend on the 30-minute time frame. Lower low, lower high, lower low. What do we also see? We also see that we're in a zone of consolidation. Price is just moving sideways, rejecting highs and rejecting lows. So what are we going to do with this pair? Nothing. Gonna let price do what it has to do. And we'll be back once we start trending. That's it. It's that simple. On to the next one. Right. Any other questions in the chat, guys? Let me know. Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over? Let me know. GCAD, we had 2 days of rise, gave us that third day push. Ended the day on a rise drop. We'll go to the daily time frame in the 4 hour just so we can see if we might get a fourth day variation on the 372 for GCAD, which again, I'm not expecting it because that pullback that we had at the end of the session was very, very steep. Because of how steep this pullback was, again, that's just one confirmation to let me know that price most likely will not continue these uptrend pushes. We're in level 3 on an uptrend. Daily time frame, we're pretty much just moving sideways. 4 hour time frame, we're moving sideways. We're at the top of the zone of consolidation where price gave us it did couldn't make this any easier, or they couldn't make this easy for us. It gave us a clean break on the 4 hour. We're just gonna fucking say that it's a clean break. We don't even gotta guess, dude. Like, let's just put a line real quick. Did it give us a clean break? Let's see. Yes, it did give us a clean break. Alright, so it gave us a clean break on the 4 hour. We have the higher high and we're looking for a higher low. Perfect, no problem. We're in level 3. We know we're looking for price to bounce off the 50 EMA. We're close to it on the 4 hour time frame. And on the 30-minute time frame, again, what is price doing? It was moving sideways. It did give us a break, and it's giving us that retest now. Now, the only thing that we're missing on the 30-minute or on any lower time frame is for some EMAs to line up for this to be a little bit of an easier trade to take. Now, does it make it impossible to trade it? No, not impossible. Just gives us a little bit more work to do. But just looking at market structure on the lower time frame, this looks like the 5 minute, 1 minute is where we want to be at. We had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? And I'm at a point where we're just gonna say that this is lower low, lower high, lower low, and this is where the change of character is happening on the 1 minute time frame. And we'll be looking for a 1 minute change of character, and after the change of character, we'll be looking for that break of structure. So if price could give us a break above these highs, we have the 50 crossing above the 200, the 50 crossing above the 200, excuse me, and we'll have a clean trade on GCAD potentially for tomorrow. We'll be patient and we'll be looking for that 372 variation when we're looking at STP and ADR as well, it lines up with what we're looking at. Right, 83 pips minus 33%. Let's look at that real quick. Minus 33% is 55 pips. So we'll be a little bit, you know, way above STP for the high of the day. But we'll see what price does. Let's discuss retest of engulfing candles in the morning, but I'll ask again during our 101. All right, cool. We'll do it in the morning for sure, Albert. I got you. Tomorrow morning, in tomorrow's trading session, we'll go over the engulfing candle retest. I got you. But we could definitely do it, obviously, during our 101 sessions as well. GJ, we have a previous 3 days of rise, right? Today, yesterday, and Friday. After 3 days of rise, the market must move sideways or go down. And we are now trading between these higher lows down here and these higher highs all the way up here. Right, and then the daily and the 4 hour, I'm just gonna update this weekend. I'm not gonna do that right now. Well, I guess the daily we could just move it up a little bit. Daily, we're up here. Right, 3 months of rise. I'm not expecting price to continue these uptrend pushes anymore. On the 4 hour time frame, we have higher high, higher low. Right, higher high, higher low technically, and then higher high. On the 4 hour time frame, we're trading between these lows over here, these higher highs. Yo, I'm not gonna say what I wanted to say. It's all good. We're just gonna let that be. I'm a fucking asshole though, bro. Crazy work out of me. GU could be a good or GJ could be a good trade for tomorrow and possibly for the rest of the week. We'll just be patient with it. GU just moving counter trend. Rejected the highs, went back down. Nothing to talk about on GU. NZD USD, pretty much same shit we talked about today. Right, NU is another pair I'm not really gonna be trading. US 30, we already went over it. USD CAD and USD ZAR both are 2 pairs that I will not be trading right now. So I'm not even, we'll update USD CAD and USD ZAR this weekend during the weekly market breakdown. Gold is another pair on my list that I'm currently not really trading. This is a pair where I'm looking at it, yes, in the morning. When I'm waking up, I'll look at the chart, but I'm not doing any analysis on it prior to the session in the morning. But again, price is doing exactly what it needs to do. We had 3 days of rise, which was Thursday, Friday, Monday. After 3 days of rise, the market must do what? Move sideways or go down. And we move sideways. So again, I like trading gold and I like looking at gold because it follows the rules. But it's a pair where right now there's just too much going on, too much news going on worldwide. I'm not comfortable trading gold in these situations. Bitcoin, very similar. We were consolidating for the last week and a half, and then all of a sudden today price just decides to skyrocket with that news about Iran and that their currency collapsed this week. It went to zero. So as soon as that happened, of course Bitcoin is gonna fucking skyrocket. So Bitcoin is another pair right now that I'm not really trading. But very similar to USD CAD and USD ZAR. I'm just going to update this. I'm gonna update this pair this weekend, and we'll start looking at those pairs going into next week for the rest of the year. But I'm just letting price do what it has to do for now for a little bit, and then we'll get back to trading Bitcoin later. And then the last pair for the night, US oil, right? Oil is another pair where right now I'm not really trading. Again, very similar to what we were just talking about. There's just too much going on. There's a lot of news going on worldwide. With oil specifically, right? So this is another pair where we're just gonna have to let price kind of just do what it has to do. We know we're in an overall downtrend. We know that we were trading at the lower lows, and all we're looking for is a lower high to be made, right? We've reached our 800 EMA on the 4-hour time frame. Our daily time frame, we're looking for the price to bounce off the 200 EMA, so we still have a little bit more of these uptrends to look for before we start looking for a downtrend, and we're still making higher highs and higher lows on every single time frame. So that's pretty much it, guys. I don't really have anything more to talk about. You know, again, a lot of these pairs, as of right now, we'll just have to be patient. Come back tomorrow for the live trading session, and then in the morning we'll see what's left on the table for us and see if there's anything easy, something clean, simple to trade. But as of right now, again, a lot of these pairs are just stuck in zones of consolidations. A lot of these pairs are moving counter trends. They're just giving us the pullbacks that we need to look for to then start looking for the continuation. So we'll keep it simple. We'll keep it clean. What the fuck happens when a country currency goes to zero for the people that live there? Everything free? Yeah, right. I don't know. I never lived through something like that, so I don't really have the answer to that, to be honest with you. Um, no, it just nothing is free. Again, I don't have the answer. I don't have the answer to that, so I really have no clue, Kendall. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no fucking clue. That's a great question, though. That is something I should probably know the answer to. But I really have no fucking idea. Yeah, what happens when it goes to zero? Is everything for free? Yeah, fucking right. Yeah, we wish. Thank you, brother. No problem, Mr. Adrian. No problem. Hope you have a good rest of your night, Adrian. Good night, bro. Good night, Albert. We'll see you tomorrow, my brother. I promise I won't forget. Well, tomorrow morning we'll go over the engulfing candles for sure. Again, even if there's no trades tomorrow morning, we'll still turn the stream on regardless, and we'll go over some stuff. You part-time vigilante when you off the charts, yo. I don't know, bro. Fucking not. All I know is that I was Superman today. It's goddamn Spider-Man today, bro. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but it's been a weird ass year already, and we're only 13 days in. A couple days ago, I was thinking about fucking getting these blood samples and finding these guys who fucking wanted to steal my car, turn into fucking Batman, chase them down, figure out where they live, cut their fingers off, ship off their fingers to their mom's house. Don't ever fuck with me again. That was real shit that almost happened, bro. For real, for real. Like I'm sick in the brain, dude. There are some news tomorrow. PPI. Let's look at that real quick. Good call. I should get used to looking at this shit again every day. I don't know why I don't. I mean, not that I don't. I do look at it. I just don't really pay attention to it anymore. I don't really care anymore about news. Like it's got to a point with me. Like, I've been doing this for the last 6 years now, and it's just it got to the point where it's like we already know what's gonna happen. Do I really care about news? Not really. Like I already know when the news is gonna. We already know when the news is gonna hit. We have it here on the chart. You know, it pops up. It should pop up. Anyway, um, oh, it's because I'm not on a USD pair. You know, we have you know, it tells us on TradingView when the news is gonna hit. So it's like I already know, like, okay, cool, PPI day, CPI days, just be aware of it. But yes, tomorrow at 8:30. Looks like tomorrow might be the same as today, so we'll be super careful taking trades before 8:30 tomorrow. And then Thursday we have USD news at 8:30 again, so Thursday could be the same shit as today and tomorrow. And then Friday is a pretty clean day, so we'll see what happens. And then bank holiday on Monday, so we'll be patient. Said create a clone from their DNA. Yeah, right. Just the time you're right, bro. But today was inflation data. It had more impact. Oh, absolutely. No, I just mean it in general. Like, I'm not as I'm not as anxious about news days anymore. Cause I treat them all the same. Like, regardless if it's CPI or NFP or PPI or unemployment claims, I treat them the same way. right? Like I already know I'm not gonna trade 15 minutes before news and 15 minutes after news. That's really what I meant about what I said. Not that it doesn't matter, because it does matter. It's a big thing in trading. You have to know news and what it does. Um, but again, I treat news the same way every single time there's news. It doesn't matter if I'm trading NFP day, CPI, PPI, unemployment claims. I'm not trading 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after. So for me, it's just not really like, I'm not waiting for a non-farm day to go all in and and hope that price goes into my direction. Like, if it's a day like today where we have an entry that we could take, we take it, right? But we just understand that we're not gonna take a trade 15 minutes before 8:30 or 15 minutes until 15 minutes after 8:30, if that makes any sense, right? So it's not that I don't care about the news. Like, I definitely want to know that there's news, but it's not like I care about what type of news it is, because I'm treating them all the same way. I don't trade 15 minutes before. I'll wait 15 minutes after the news to then start trading again. So that's really what I meant about not really caring about the news. Is, again, not that I don't care about the news. I don't care what the news is, but I'm treating it the same way. Let's gamble? Man, I'm good. Some stupid shit. In the beginning of December, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just put in a few $100 into some like online casino. Fucking lost all the money in 20 minutes. How the fuck do people like gambling, dude? This shit is so stupid to me. I'm good, dude. It's a little tax write-off. Fucking just lost a couple hundred bones on some stupid shit. I don't know how people like doing that shit, man. I'm gonna go to the gas station and buy un rapaito. Fucking scratch off ticket. No, bruh. Fuck that. NFP gamble? Can't, dude. It's treated that. There's a guy that messaged me today on Twitter. I had a few people message me today on Twitter, but there was one guy too that he was like, "Yeah, bro, I lost my account in the last NFP because I put it all in buy positions on Euro USD, or I think it was like NZD USD, something like that, and I lost 750 US dollars, and I'm from fucking Turkey, I think it is that he said." I'm like, dude, like, how long you been trading? I ask him. He says 4 years. I'm like, yo, that's your problem. That if you haven't learned that you shouldn't be doing that 4 years into your journey, I think you gotta find a new hobby. And he stopped messaging me after that. But am I wrong? Like, dude, I would understand that from somebody who just started trading yesterday and all he sees on Instagram Reels and TikTok is motherfuckers just full porting NFP days. But if you're 4 years into your goddamn journey and you're doing that still, I'm gonna tell you straight up, yo, I think you need to find another profession. I think your next step is to just delete TradingView off of your computer, off of your phone. Stop thinking about trading and go find another job. Because if you're 4 years into this shit and you're still doing that, there's no saving you. There's nothing else we could do. There's nothing else we could do, man. Give it up. Go do something else. Go find the casino. Fucking Hard Rock Casino, bro. 20 minutes from my house. I'll invite you out. I'll fly you out, but you gotta pay for my hands. We're putting 2K on black. Put put 1K on black, 2K on red. Fuck it. We winning. Better odds. That ain't it, Chief. Facts. That will last me 3 weeks here. Man, $1,000 here is last you a couple hours. You could blow through 1K in a day here in Miami specifically. You could blow through 1K in less than 6 hours. 3K I lived a month. 3K don't even pay the rent here at my fucking parents' house. Fuck, shit's crazy. That shit is insane to really think about. 3K ain't shit down here in Florida. That's why it hurts me to spend money though. That's why I'm glad I lived over here and I saw how lifestyle is like. I'm very Jewish with my money because of that. Very, very Jewish with my money. Very Jewish. As the people who speak Spanish would say, yo me tiro de un quinto piso y rompo el piso con el codo. That's the money printing, but they say no inflation. Yeah, facts. Agent just laughing at me, bro. Yeah, everybody tells me that shit. Yo, if you jump off a building, the floor is not gonna break. Yo, your elbows will break the floor. Or what? What is it? I don't even know if I said that right in English. My goddamn elbow will break the fall, bro. That's how Jewish I am with my money. But alright, guys. Any questions? Anything else you guys want me to speak about? Anything else you want me to explain? Let me know. I'm just pacing around my room right now. Anything else before we go? Let me know. If not, I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. And we'll be back tomorrow morning for the live trading session. Oh, cool, brother. Alright, Mr. Adrian. We'll see you tomorrow, my brother. If you're at work, stay safe out there, man. Save lives like I did today. And again, the good thing is that you're getting paid for that shit. Like, I'm not gonna get a check mailed to my house. Not even a goddamn thank you letter. Nah, she gave me her thanks. She was a sweetheart. I felt bad for her, man. I should probably go back to the crime scene, right? That happened a long time ago already at this point. I don't think she'll be there anymore. Pieces of chicken are gonna be on the floor though. That shit's crazy. I would hate myself if I ever die like that. Peace, brother. Peace out, Mr. Kendall. Yo, did you go pick up the shirt already, bro? Like, I need to know if the quality's good on it. We get paid less than surgeons in the U.S. See, I think that's criminal, bro. I think surgeons and nurses, that should all be like a universal. There should be like a universal pay system for that. Your mom's got it? Yo, tell her to take a picture, send it to me. I want to see how it looks. And you have a fellowship? Yeah, that's crazy. Yo, what could you come work in the US if you wanted to? Or would you have to take the test again? He was choking on chicken? Yeah. The dude that I saved his life, he was choking on chicken. Had to take the test again? Fuck. But it's just a test that you gotta take or you gotta do like another 2 years? You have to take 2 years of med school again and then take it, or could you just come here, take the test, and you're chilling? They don't validate it? Yeah, that's fucking stupid. I'd hate to go out like that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I want to die on some crazy. Either I just want to die from natural causes, or I want to die on some crazy shit. If I ever fucking die, cause yeah, imagine you turn on the TV, yo, Lewis died from choking on chicken. I'd kill myself in heaven. I'd kill myself again. I don't want to hear that. I can't go out like that. I lived too good of a life for me to go out by a piece of chicken, bro. But you know that wouldn't have happened to him if he was eating some vegetables. Yeah, that's why I'm vegetarian. You got to do the residency again. That's crazy. Unless they change that and let foreign MD go there and practice. Foreign MD go there and practice. Yeah. Nah, it's kind of crazy. But I mean, it makes sense though because I know every country has different rules and regulations and ways that they go about doing surgery and even not even doing surgery, but just attending patients is a little bit different. So I get it. How how long is the residency? It's about 2 years now, or is it the full 4 6? No way, 4 6 years, right? I can do surgery there, but I need a sponsor. Got you. Why you got words censored? My message is not popping up. Uh, I don't know. I shouldn't have any words censored. Community moderation. Let me see. I don't know if I should even open this here. Um, I don't even got any blocked words, bro. I don't know why that happened. You can't say racist stuff. This is YouTube, bro. It's Google. They probably got that shit by themselves. It's very gay. I want to go smoke a doobie, man. It's been a very intense day. Oh, you texted me. Let me see. Hold on. Um. Oh, that was the message that you said it didn't pop up. You said I'm a vigilante, bro. All right, Mr. Agent. We'll see you tomorrow. You a cluck? All right, Kendall. We'll see you tomorrow, man. Yo, tell your moms to send me a picture. I want to see the shirt. Make sure that she got it on though. Where your mom's at? Your mom's at, huh? Finna go grab some bread. Yo, that's good that you could go get some bread, yo, cause you know it means you're gonna be making some bread. Make sure you put some cheese in that bread so you can make some guap. Can't be rolling around with no cheese. He said, "Fuck no, that's my shirt." Yo, tell your brother to send me the picture then. He pretty much your same build. I know he fits in a medium. That fucking 12-year-old guy that's built like a 31-year-old, bro. He gotta get a grip. Stop biting on those goddamn blankets. The Guac Guac 3K. Guac Guac 3000. Hell, now he stink. Alright. Nah, that's fair. Yeah, he gonna put your shit on. You just gotta throw it away, burn it. Gonna have some crazy smell on that. Yeah, I wanna play some COD. It's been fucking too long. Just wanna shoot some motherfuckers. Wanna relapse, dude. About to be a month that I haven't played Call of Duty. Just I wanna win a tournament. I wanna play some wagers. FBI open up. Yo, talking about COD, bro. I'm a little white boy. I don't shoot in real life. Come on now. I don't tote guns. Please don't come for me. Please. Alright, team. I'm out of here. Peace out. Trying to find me a trying to find me a bean burrito. Fuck Taco Bell. They trying to kill us. Nah. Yo, go get some Taco Bell, bro. I die on that hill, yo. Taco Bell fire. Or just go to Chipotle, even though they're trying to kill us too with their GMO'd food. But you in Chicago, bro. You got hella taco spots out there. Like, what are we talking about? Go to a Mexican spot. A taqueria. Chipotle is trying to off us, brother. Everybody's trying to off us, or we're fucked. That's it. Have you seen tomatoes? Oh, my mom bought a tomato the other day at Publix. Yo, never seen a fucking tomato that big in my life. Never in my life have I seen a tomato the size of that goddamn tomato. So, everything we eating now is fake as hell, dude. Again, just think about it. And I'm gonna say this on stream, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm turning this shit off. Brother, how many McDonald's are there worldwide? Let's just start off there. How many Burger Kings are there worldwide? How many Wendy's? How many Subways? How many deli spots? How many supermarkets? Right? Talking about worldwide. There's 8 fucking billion people in the world. And there's millions of fast food restaurants. There's hundreds of thousands of supermarkets. And out of 8 billion people, at least 7 billion people eat meat every single day, 3 times a fucking day. And you're gonna tell me that we somehow still have enough capacity for real chicken and real meat and real cows and real pork and goat? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Everything we're eating is fake. I don't know how they make it. I don't know where we're getting it from. And my sister has tried to tell me, like, yo, do you know how much meat a cow produces? Yo, not enough to feed 8 billion people every single fucking day for the last 2026 years that we've been on this earth. There's not enough. There's not enough. There's not enough cows getting slaughtered. There's not enough plants being grown. How long does it take for a fucking plant to grow? You're not gonna tell me every single time you walk into that goddamn supermarket, every fruit and every goddamn vegetable is on that shelf every single day. You're not gonna tell me we're eating real food, bro. So I stopped caring about the food that I eat, because nothing's organic anymore. Everything is GMO'd. Everything has hella testosterone. So I don't give a fuck no more. I'm gonna eat my goddamn Taco Bell. I'm gonna eat my goddamn Chipotle. In moderation, of course. But I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy it. Because I feel good after I eat it. Right? I don't eat meat because I don't feel good after I eat meat. But that's a different conversation. When it comes to my beans and rice and beans and rice and more beans and rice and vegetables and fruits, I'll be eating them shits all day, every day. Because there's no other choice. We got no other choice, my brother. We gotta eat. We gotta eat. But that's why I eat once, maybe twice a day. And I drink water. That's it. I don't drink soda. I don't drink juice. I drink water. That's it. They 3D printing this shit. I seen a video. That shit look real as fuck. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, dude. I need to get into one of those conventions with numbers in front of me and charts and whiteboards for them to fucking sit me down and tell me, like, no, bro, this is why we have meat. Like, nobody's ever gonna convince me that we have enough cows in the world to be able to produce the type of meat that we produce worldwide. Again, you go to any supermarket anywhere in the United States, and every supermarket, every goddamn supermarket is filled with chicken breast and ground beef and I don't even know any other meats and pork grinds and pork ass and pork intestine. Dude, there's not enough. I'm sorry to tell you there's not enough. Shit is either 3D printed or we live in a fucking Minecraft simulation. And motherfuckers are breeding animals like crazy. And I don't know where they're doing it. Because I live in Florida. I go to tracks that are in Okeechobee. And I have to drive through the fucking, the fields and the farms. And my brother, every single time I drive by there, the only thing I see is burnt grass. I never see the field filled with fruits and vegetables and never, yo. I've never seen I live in Miami, right? Miami before we started constructing was forest filled with cows. I've yet to see a field with more than 15 cows. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. And again, in order for you to even eat meat, you gotta kill those cows. Those cows have been there their entire lives. So either they're protected by the CIA or we're not fucking eating cows, dude. I'm telling you this right now. No baby cows, just straight big ass cows. Right next to my apartment here at my parents' house. It's a field of like 20 cows right next door. Literally, we go walk right there. We'll be there in 10 minutes. Probably less. Right next door. It's a block away. We could go pet them if you want, man. Come over. Cow dig? A cow dig? Alright, yeah, I'm out of here. Peace out. See y'all later. Good night, everybody. I'll make you move? Yeah, I'm out of here.